I use denim instead of fiberglass because I'm going to be sleeping. I don't want the formaldehyde in the fiber. So I bought denim insulation, and I got it from Amazon. You know, rolls of this. Really happy with it.
So Brian, can you tell me a little bit about the actual van? You bought it used? And
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a 2006 Freightliner Sprinter van, but it's a Mercedes. It was assembled in Germany. Even the windows have the little Mercedes logo on it. It's the 5-cylinder diesel. This is the 2500, which is a 144-inch wheelbase. The 3500 is the big one you might have seen, and that's a 170-inch wheelbase.
So this is 19 and a half feet?
I think
feet?
total, something like that. It's less than 20.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's got the high roof one, which of course I wanted. I'm only 5'6", but I easily could stand in it. I wanted to be able to move around.
I could stand in there.
Oh yeah, you could stand in there. I wanted the bed platform, and so I have a 2-inch memory foam mattress on there, which is
cozy,
which is sweet. I have a sink I'll show you in the front with a hand pump, a little metal sink that I bought. I also have I built this desk, which a fold-down desk so I could work on the computer and download pictures. I'm taking a lot of pictures, as you guys are too, right? You know?
Yeah.
So you're always working with that.
Always.
I don't have any solar, except I have a portable Goal Zero fold-out Boulder 30 with the Yeti 400. It's their smaller one. It's not the 1250, but it's worked out really well for me.
That's actually our exact setup. We have a 200 solar suitcase with the 400 Yeti.
Yeah, and it charges super fast. And
it does. It works great. If you
I know.
Good
I even use a earpiece.
And I can also charge the Yeti while I'm driving too. I bought the cable for that.
Okay, I didn't get that.
Yeah, which is...
It was on back order. We never ended up getting it. It's the worst.
Oh, that's too bad. Because again, down in South America, I had really great weather. I was very fortunate. I mean, I can't complain at all. But it's nice to be able to charge stuff when you're driving, because it does take time. And you know, you're vagabond. You're always on the move, so it's hard to find a spot.
Life.
Yeah, me too.
So how long have you had your van?
I bought it in 2016 in March, and then I fixed it up and I hit the road. I shipped it out in 1st of September.
And you bought it 10 years old?
Yeah.
And with how much mileage on it?
100 and... No, it was over 200. It was like 205, you know.
1,000 miles?
Yeah.
70 miles, not kilometers.
But everybody said, but everybody tells me, and the Sprinter Forum, one guy put 1,000,000 miles on his. This engine is one of the most... This 5-cylinder Mercedes diesel engine is supposed to be one of the best engines ever made. Knock on wood, and it works great, and I'm real happy with it. But the transmission, you know, only gets 350,000 or so miles. But everybody says if you don't get 500,000 miles out of your engine, you're doing something wrong.
Okay.
So we've heard that a lot of people that have diesel engines, they're hesitant to come here to Mexico because of the quality of the diesel. Now, what's been your experience in South America?
South America, not Mexico. Mexico's still part of North America.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I had no problem at all. And
in South America?
None.
Okay.
I changed out my fuel filter before I left, and you know, you get 10,000 miles out of an oil change. So every time I change my oil, I change the fuel filter. And I brought a spare fuel filter with me, and I never used it, and so it ran great. I had no problem. Did I get some water or some grit? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really. They run so many diesel trucks, especially in Chile. Their favorite little truck is a diesel little pickup truck, like a Ford Ranger kind of Toyota Tacoma. You know, a little 4-wheel drive. You saw those by the hundreds. And
here in Mexico, same thing, no problem?
I just got here today.
Oh.
So but they didn't come with a great tank. You put it yourself.
I did everything. Huh.
So you've had this van for 3 years and you love it?
See? Yeah.
God, it even has a...
And this ARB, it's an 8x8. It is. I got the big one because it wasn't that much more expensive. And so I said, get the big one. I'm glad, because I could angle it down, because I didn't get any sides for them. And sometimes the sides are nice because if the sun is coming from an angle, and it can get pretty hot.
Or when it's raining and it's coming on.
Exactly. So I loved it. I did have to get the rack. Instead of just 2, I had to get 3, and it wasn't that much more money. So I could hang the awning, and also I could have my observation lounge for happy hours, photography.
Okay, so you actually go up there. I figured it must have been for solar.
No,
but I don't see a solar panel.
It is purely for
observation
my observation lounge. I made it big enough for two, camp chairs, and I bought the ladder and all that just to go up and take pictures and hang out.
That's
and,
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Catch
Nice
up.
time lapse, put it there, go to bed.
Yeah. It's really, I like it. So
That's
okay.
awesome.
So here is my sink with a hand pump.
And pump.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
So what do you mean, and spot for your water?
Yeah.
I'll open it up and show you. So, just my little badger face. And so, I found that I need to do this.
No doubt.
Yeah. And so here's where I keep the kitchen equipment. My cook gear, my coffee pot, and then over here is kind of more of some pantry stuff. So spices here, and beans and peanut butter and coffee and kind of stuff. And this has worked out well, except for that it just doesn't stay closed. It just rattles like crazy. So I had to have the bungee cord. And then down here, so I have the Yeti, and then I just use these for additional food storage containers, and that works out well. This is the gray water, and then the other one is the fresh water. They're 11 liters, so it gives me quite a bit of, it's worked out well.
Okay.
And you could dump that pretty easily too, because it's light.
Yeah.
It's just that it doesn't last you very long.
It doesn't last me very long. And but I mostly use this for washing dishes and brushing teeth and things like that.
Us, yeah.
And then I just drink. I buy bottled water and drink that.
Yes.
And that works out pretty well. And then this, there's my magnet collection from National Park.
From all of your parks.
Okay. And this is my. I put this up. This is my clothes. So I have this little bungee thing on it.
Oh, nice.
And then I keep my clothes up there. And that works out pretty well.
What wood did you use? Because it smells.
Cedar.
Yeah,
Now, when
smells
everybody
great.
tells me I need to take some light, really 4-knot sandpaper and rub it, and I guess you can bring the smell back again.
Oh, well, we smell it.
But I mean, I guess you can make it I slept in it one night in my driveway, and I was overwhelmed by the incredible smell. And so this way, but I could put my bike up. When I went out west, I brought my road bike and my mountain bike. That's why the 2 hooks.
Okay. Good.
And I like to be able to have this path. Now, if it's a couple, you would probably want to bring the bed platform all the way across.
I know, because the flat is pretty handy, and it gives you extra.
This is a little snug, though.
Yeah, for 2. I think so.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it'd be snug. And for me, it beats being in a tent. That was my whole point. I wasn't going to go to South America for, that long.
Actually, have you met Garth?
No.
He's taking his motorcycle, and he's camping all the way down to El Salvador.
Oh, okay. So he's going to do
You're gonna meet him soon.
Okay. Yeah. They always hang out by the fire.
So he's just waiting for his motorcycle papers.
Really nice group.
Okay. And then this, if I were going to do it again, I would not do this.
Okay.
But I was a college professor for 20 years, and I felt like I was going to do some writing and computer stuff.
Okay, so this is like your little desk?
My little desk. And so now I just use it for storage. This little battery-operated fan was a...
So where would you work as opposed to here?
Well, what I would do is I saw somebody who had a little table that folded down, and then it would just fold up, and then the leg underneath it. And so I could use it to eat on, and I could put it right here so I could sit and look out, and I could still work on my computer there. I don't need this much space. And it comes out so far that when, like I said, I suffer from RV envy when the weather's bad because I'm sitting in here and I feel I don't have a lot of space to move around. But this has worked out well because it gave me additional storage space. So some computer and photography stuff. My music Goal Zero. But anyway, so this storage has been great. So what I would do is I'd put cubbies down underneath here and then have that little... Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No so that I would pick up, this is a foot deep. And and then underneath, and this did work out well. My Goal Zero in my library.
We have the same one.
Except we don't keep many paper books. They're all electronic. They just take up too much space.
Yeah, I've got my Patagonia stuff. I got a couple books I was reading, and some of the stuff just ended up. It just stays in here now.
Yeah.
I do have a hole drilled in the side of this, so I can take this out to attach to my. There's where I keep my solar panels over there.
Oh, okay. And you got to show me that heater.
Oh,
please show me your heater.
Oh, this was.
Because I just burned myself on our stupid Coleman catalytic heater the other day, and I have this wicked burn on my leg.
Okay, so this is I think they call it a buddy or a little buddy, and it runs off the same propane cylinders that I use on my stove.
Oh.
So this is my 2-burner Camp Chef that it kind of sits right there.
Oh, that's a nice place for it.
Yeah.
Now, does this seat swivel around or not so much?
The cost of that was just, I mean,
But then you could have swiveled it around and had like
That would have
a
been
desk
great.
here,
That would
right?
have been
But
great.
okay.
So
Next one though.
So this thing works really well. I got it for
fumes?
Christmas. What?
I don't like it. You
it
smell the
stink?
fumes.
I don't leave it on at night. You do smell the fumes when you first light it.
And that's it?
For me, I mean, but maybe it just feels like that's residual because there's a pilot. You have to hold the pilot on for 30 seconds to light the tile.
Okay.
And once this is lit, this will get pretty warm. You got to be careful with that, but it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll warm up this space
Really fast.
really fast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at another option.
And it
'cause
removes
our-
the chill in the morning and at
That's
night
what I
before
like.
you go to
Yeah,
bed.
that's what I
before
like
going to
before.
bed, before the sponge bath, and before
Yeah,
and when you wake up in the morning.
Well, I found that sometimes at this time of year camping, even if I'm in Alabama on the way down here, it was cold.
Yeah.
You know, and last night it got down into the 30s when I was in El Centro. You know,
Okay.
so it's cold. And, you know,
Even here. I mean,
It's been like 5 degrees. Yeah, like 4 or 5 degrees
A little
Celsius in the
chill.
morning.
Right.
So I don't know what that is.
I'm anxious to
now one thing I will say about this, and I don't have a lot of experience so far because this is the first trip. You go through propane cylinders, I think, pretty quickly if you have it on for long periods of time. So one cylinder lasted me all the way down here for 3 nights.
Okay.
And what I did is, but I just turn it on in the evening, take the chill off,
And then-
Still,
one
it consumes a lot.
then one morning I
Couldn't
turned
you
it
put
on.
an adapter?
You could, yes, this company has adapters, and you can use the larger cylinders.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
there's someone on Facebook that refills their small cylinders.
Yeah, and you have
off of
some
their
that are
big.
refillable and some that are not. But
Right.
they even refill the ones that are not.
Right.
But I mean, I don't want to chance it. But
Yeah.
apparently,
Well,
it's
I just because I use the same one for these, and I can buy them in practically bulk from, Dick's for $3.50 US. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not
And
bad.
they last a long time for the camp stove, but it just seems like if you really run it a lot, you'd go through one a day.
Yeah, no kidding.
I only have 2-wheel drive, and so my plan would be to get a 4-wheel drive vehicle. And then, especially in the American West and places out there were places I couldn't go in the Sprinter.
Like where?
Oh gosh, Bears Ears and some of those national monuments in Utah and
Okay.
things. There, I mean, I almost got stuck one time in Peru, and I'd still be there. It was at 12,000 feet. Actually, it wasn't Peru; it was in
So
Chile.
you recommend a Mercedes with 4x4?
It's if I had, you can get stripped down. V is new for 32,000. High roof 2,500, and stripped down brand new one, which will
Really?
last you for 3,200 or 32,000. I mean.
Come on.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it's 2-wheel drive.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
And the
that's
4-wheel
trouble.
drive adds another 15,000 US to
That's
the
a
top.
lot.
It's a lot.
But it's a lot of flexibility too.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't know that Mercedes had a 4-wheel drive Sprinter, and I met somebody in Puyuapi in Chile, and it was a French family of 4 in a Sprinter. But it was 4-wheel drive, and he didn't speak much English, but his wife did, and she said they went everywhere, and they went
No
places
kidding.
they shouldn't. But between them, because it had a lot of weight too. I mean,
Yeah, they're heavy. They're longer too.
Yeah.
Tell me about this roof. You put that in?
This I did not. This came with the van.
It did
Really?
the fantastic fan.
Yeah, this came with the fan,
Okay.
but I put the fan in.
Huh. That is.
Yeah.
I would think that would be rare, having a sunroof in a Sprinter.
Yeah, and now it leaks right here.
Oh.
Not bad. But if it's really raining a lot, it'll just pool up there, and depends on how the van is canted, how bad it is. Like if it's leaning a little this way, that's when I'll get some leak here and even here. But not bad. This came with it.
How long did it take you to build this?
I get asked that a lot. I was working, full time at the time, so I had my garage set up
Evenings
with all
and
my
weekends?
tools. Nights and weekends. And then as a college professor, once June rolled around and the semester was over, I had a meeting in California, so I went out for my meeting and came back. And then I spent probably 3 straight weeks on it. But not every day, not all day, but that's when I really did the build. Because this stuff I did all obviously first. I did all that first with then I put the bed platform on
Yeah.
first.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
At least if you go camping, you have something to sleep.
Right, right.
But it's
So-
a pretty unique layout. I actually really like the layout.
Yeah, it's
Even
easy,
though the
it's
bed
good.
would be a little bit tight for us, like, couldn't we make a Murphy style where we would kind of just flip one side over and have that walkway?
I think I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
I've seen even people that have it raised, but
Yeah,
you know,
the raised is pretty good because then you have all that storage space underneath.
right.
But I like this layout a lot.
And the washroom is a portable one with
Okay,
Have
so
you
just
seen-
just no shower.
Yeah, I have a portable camp shower or Helio.
Okay.
Have you seen one of those?
You have the shower
The hand?
tent?
No, I have a tent too. I bought it for this trip.
Yeah.
I didn't before. You know, down in Patagonia, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's a Helio. You fill it up. It has 11-liter storage and has a little foot pump, and then it has a little hand thing. So it's not a solar shower that you have to hang. Remember those old school
those
ones?
are pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the water gets warm too, so
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, I've been really happy with
showers
it.
over here.
And that, you know, that
Dometic?
the portable toilet, for just me, it lasts like almost a month.
That's good.
You know, and it, you know, I mean, it's just because again, when you're out, you know, bush camping,
Yeah.
it's nice to have that. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm, you know,
No, absolutely. I mean,
you know, I can pee in a bottle, but when it comes to other things, it's nice to have it.
absolutely.
You know?
Can you plug the Sprinter to a 30 amp or no? Okay, so you can't plug.
I didn't go that far. See, the electronics, I kept it to the Goal Zero and the solar panel.
Which
and
is
that-
all you need. I mean,
For me.
we do both. We do a lot of camping, like RV camping
Mm-hmm.
in campgrounds and boondocking.
Right.
Because when we're in the U.S., we use Thousand Trails, and it works really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes down really, really cheap, and you have Wi-Fi, and you have
Wow.
swimming pools, gyms, jacuzzis. You have
Oh,
all
that's
that.
pretty sweet. I didn't know. Yeah, I'm a national forest guy.
So if you had to do it all again, what would you do differently from this build?
Again, the desk platform.
Okay.
I would build some cubbies below the bed, and I would have a little table thing that would flip. I've seen them; they flip up, and then they have a leg that either swings out or you put underneath it. And I could have it kind of right along in here, which would give me a little bit more room there. And when it's down, it would be great. It would be out of the way, and it would also help keep things in the cubbies if I didn't want to put
Yeah.
lids on it. I would lose some storage by doing that because this thing is proven to be really valuable for storage. But I think that would, having this not here would give me much more living space. I'd feel more comfortable when I did have to be in it. But that's the only thing. I mean, that's the only thing I'd do different.
You wouldn't swap your Yeti for a fridge?
If they hadn't stolen my fridge, it would be there, and I would run an accessory bat. So the idea was to put an accessory battery in, and so they have things called smart solenoids that'll connect, that you can connect to your starter battery and your alternator, I guess, and then you run it through the firewall, and it get a deep cycle marine battery. Then you can charge down, and so because a regular starter battery, you don't want to discharge it all the way down. It's
No.
bad for the battery. So I would get a deep cycle marine battery as an accessory battery, and that would run the fridge.
You seem to know a whole lot about this, and yet you said you're not a carpenter.
No.
So where did you learn all of this?
Well, I think part of it comes from the fact that I'm a scientist, and
Oh.
so I'm a biologist, ecologist, conservation biologist. I have a Ph.D. in biology, so I studied. And there's, as you guys know, there's an incredible wealth of resources online.
That's
And
true.
so
Yeah.
I kind of said, well, what do I want for for what my needs were? It's just me. I don't have a spouse or a significant other. So what do I need? And so I kind of looked at a bunch of different things and pieced together something that would work for me. And I know some people put the desk platform here or the sink, sticking out. Have you seen some of the?
Yeah.
I don't want to block. I like the door. I like when this is down and the weather's nice and you have the door open. You can, I just really liked it. So I don't like the.
Do you cook on that countertop there?
It is just big enough for the the two
I
burner.
was thinking, and it's just high enough too, so that it doesn't really present any dangers.
No. Now I don't cook in there very often, and I have to admit, I don't like cooking in there because depending on what you're cooking, the smell does stick around for a while.
Yeah.
And the condensation too.
Yeah. So, but most places where I've been, the weather was amenable, and and I have right here I have a small folding table, and then a wonderful old American invention. You can stick these in the ground instead of beer holders.
I thought it would make it rain.
And, so like
Make it rain.
I intentionally left a gap here so I could put put
Okay.
my folding. I have a little folding table.
Okay, so
Yeah.
kind of like a little cubby.
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
could-
Yeah. You can definitely ship roll on, roll off from Halifax, and that because all the Europeans I met that had driven the Americas, some started, drove from Halifax to Alaska, and then were going all the way down to Ushuaia, Argentina, and they all came in through Halifax, and it was affordable.
I know.
Now
it
I
is.
paid $3,500 to ship my van back from Argentina, but that was everything. I mean, I had paid. That included all port fees. That included gear, everything, for just $3,500. I thought that was reasonable.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think it affected the performance of the van, but I do notice that my fuel mileage suffers when it gets into some real topography, real hilly, and then also at 12,000 feet, I think it's sucking for air.
Yeah.
I get 25 miles to the gallon, which is pretty good.
That's what I was
Diesel.
going to ask you, actually.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
diesel though.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
diesel.
that's true.
That's diesel. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
But diesel in the U.S. is not that bad right now. The difference between diesel and regular gasoline isn't terrible.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
so
Besides
like-
California.
California, yeah.
California, they stick it
stinks.
to you like, damn
They
it.
do.
So when are you going to Europe?
You know what? So I keep telling people. First of all, I want to get back to work for a little while, but I keep saving Europe for when I'm old and I can't do the real adventurous stuff.
How is that not adventurous?
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, the Italian Alps, the
Oh, well,
Swiss
that's
Alps?
true. And I want to go to. I really want to see Scandinavia. I want to go up there. and
Right?
That's where I really
And
like to go.
Incognito is definitely better.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so. I mean,
Thank you so much for your
okay.
time.
No, I'm
for being
happy
so
to help.
gracious.
I'm really. No,
Yeah.
yeah. Part of just I love doing it, and that's why I'm so disappointed in myself because the South American blog, I had fun with it, and I really did enjoy it. I also and there was a place called Front Page of the Africana.